obesity is growing at a very high rate. Why? We wake up with a breakfast full of carbohydrates, lunch full of carbohydrates, and supper full of carbohydrates. Most of us don't afford sufficient protein daily. But if we do crickets, we can get sufficient proteins. My name is Dr. Caroline Kipkoech from JKUAT. I'm actually part of the team that is doing insect research for food and feed at the university. We are currently dealing with crickets. Crickets are small insects. We have two species in Kenya currently, the Akita and the Grylus. One is whitish and the other one is black. Why crickets? Crickets will require very small space. They require very little amount of water. You can actually rear them in Mandera and they can use 2 liters of water for a whole 1 month. They require little food, and most of the time they feed on food waste, kitchen waste. The normal sukuma wiki that would have thrown away, that peeling of your potatoes or something, then that can be used to feed cricket effectively. The turnover is very high protein content, around 60%. We are talking about very good fatty acids that we usually supplement to our children. For example, EPA and DHA can be found in crickets. We also have good minerals and good vitamins in the crickets. Crickets are naturally sweet. They actually have some salt in it. So if you taste it even like a snack, it's still good. So we are doing crickets for two things. We can do it for food, for our own consumption. You can dry them, then crush, get the powder. You can use it for your uji, for pancakes in the morning, for your soup. You can even add it to your sukuma wiki when you don't have nyama. Then you can also use it for your, chicken, and then for dairy meal, you can actually substitute the fish meal, which is usually very rare, and then it's quite expensive. You can use it. You can use insects now. So we are doing crickets, and we think this would be a very big thing, and we have a market. We have an enormous market. Currently, we have a big client like Unga Limited. They would want a contract with us for us to supply them a ton or 2 tons of cricket per month. We've not been able to get to this, but I know if we are able to get so many farmers farming crickets, we're able to achieve this, and we are able to get food security, good nutrition for our children. This is purely tested. We've done research on this, on the nutritional content. We've done research on the impact on health of the children, and the results are there, they are out, and it is enormous. It really is a big thing. So the crickets that we have, it's been an ongoing project for almost 10 years now. The people who started the project actually picked the crickets from the wild and started farming them, and now multiplication. Currently, we no longer go back to the wild because we have a farm in JKUAT. So we actually farm and harvest them, and we can also sell eggs from the university farm. For the nutritional value for an adult, children need slightly higher nutrition value. For example, slightly higher proteins because they are growing. But remember, when we grow old, we need minerals for our skin because it wears out every day. So if we take crickets, we get enough supplementation for the minerals. So we get smoother skin, finer skin. We need proteins because our system is wearing out every day. So if we don't get sufficient protein, we're going to wear out. Finally, obesity is growing at a very high rate. Why? We wake up with a breakfast full of carbohydrates, lunch full of carbohydrates, and supper full of carbohydrates. Most of us don't afford sufficient protein daily. But if we do crickets, we can get sufficient proteins.